The Ugly Duckling Introduction. A story for rest and gentle dreams. Tonight, allow yourself to slow down. Let the noise of the day drift away like distant clouds moving across a quiet sky. There is nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to solve, and nothing you need to carry anymore. This is your moment to rest. As you listen, let the soft rhythm of the words guide you into calmness. Let each sentence arrive gently, like ripples moving across still water. This is not just a story. It is a place of safety, a place of quiet, a place where the heart can soften and the mind can finally rest. Tonight, we will journey to a peaceful countryside lake where spring has arrived and new life is beginning. It is a gentle story about patience, belonging, and discovering one's true beauty. There is no rush, there is no urgency, only stillness, only calm, only the soft unfolding of a story meant to cradle you into peaceful sleep. Take a slow breath in and release it slowly. Feel the day leaving your body. Let your jaw relax. Let your shoulders soften. Let your eyes rest. With each breath, sink deeper into comfort. With each exhale, release tension. With each moment, allow yourself to drift closer to rest. The night is quiet. You are safe. You are held in stillness. And now, the story begins. Gentle meditation. Before the story, before we enter the quiet world of the lake, take a moment to settle into stillness. Allow your breathing to become slow and natural. There is nothing to force, nothing to control. Simply notice the rhythm of your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose and exhale softly through your mouth. Feel the air move in and out like a gentle tide. Imagine a soft wave of relaxation beginning at the top of your head. Feel it slowly moving downward, relaxing your forehead, softening your eyes, releasing your cheeks, unclenching your jaw. Let the relaxation flow into your neck and shoulders. Feel the weight you carried today gently dissolve. Allow your arms to grow heavy and warm, your hands relaxed, your fingers resting. Feel the calm spreading through your chest and back, your heartbeat slow and steady, your breathing smooth and peaceful. Let this wave of comfort travel down through your stomach and hips, through your legs, your knees, your calves, your feet, until your entire body feels supported and at ease. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready to rest. Now, in this quiet stillness, we begin. Chapter 1. The Nest by the Quiet Lake. At the edge of a peaceful countryside farm, beside a still lake surrounded by tall reeds and soft wildflowers, spring had arrived with gentle warmth. The air felt fresh and tender, carrying the scent of damp earth, new grass, and blossoms opening to the morning light. The world seemed to breathe slowly here. Nothing hurried. Nothing rushed. The lake rested like a mirror, reflecting the pale blue sky above, while dragonflies drifted lazily over the water's surface. A soft breeze moved through the reeds, whispering in a language older than memory. Hidden near the shore, beneath wide green leaves and woven grasses, a mother duck rested quietly on her nest. She had been waiting patiently for many days. Beneath her soft feathers lay several smooth eggs, warmed carefully and turned gently with great care. From time to time, she hummed soft, comforting sounds, a quiet melody of reassurance and love. She knew new life was close. She could feel it. And so she waited in stillness. Morning light spread slowly across the water. Golden reflections shimmered softly. The farm in the distance stirred awake, a faint rooster's call, the gentle rustling of leaves, the distant lowing of cattle. Yet here by the lake, everything remained peaceful and unhurried. Then, a tiny tapping sound, soft, almost like a raindrop touching water. The mother duck lifted her head and listened. Another tap, and another. One of the eggs trembled beneath her wing. A small crack appeared on its surface. Then another. Soon, the nest filled with the delicate sounds of shells breaking open, one after another, like tiny doors opening into the world. Small yellow ducklings began to emerge, blinking at the soft light of morning. They shook their tiny heads and made gentle chirping sounds. Quack, quack. Their feathers were golden and downy. Their eyes shone with quiet curiosity. They wobbled unsteadily, then nestled close to their mother for warmth and safety. She wrapped her wings around them with deep tenderness. Everything felt calm. Everything felt right. Yet beneath her feathers, one egg remained. It was larger than the others, and still, silent, unmoving. The mother duck looked down at it with quiet patience. "Some lives," she whispered softly. "Simply need more time." The sun climbed slowly across the sky. Morning softened into afternoon. The ducklings rested, warmed by their mother's presence and the gentle rhythm of the lake. The breeze slowed, the light softened, and the world remained wrapped in stillness. Take a slow breath in, and gently breathe out. Feel your body resting, supported, safe. The lake remains calm, the nest remains warm, and in the quiet stillness of the afternoon, the mother duck waits. Peacefully, patiently, trusting the timing of life. Chapter 2. The Egg That Needed More Time. The afternoon light softened over the quiet lake, turning the surface of the water into liquid gold. The small ducklings rested beneath their mother's wing, their tiny bodies rising and falling with peaceful breaths. Everything felt calm. Everything felt complete. Yet beneath the mother duck's warm feathers, the large egg remained, still, silent, unopened. From time to time, the smaller ducklings peeked toward it with curious eyes. "Why hasn't it hatched?" one of them whispered. "Is something wrong?" another asked softly. The mother duck gently adjusted her feathers around the egg. "Some journeys begin more slowly," she murmured. "Every life has its own rhythm." The breeze moved softly through the reeds, carrying the sound of water touching the shore. The sun drifted lower in the sky, bathing the nest in warm amber light. Then, a faint movement, so subtle it could almost be missed. The egg trembled. A pause, then another gentle tremor. The mother duck lifted her head and listened. A tiny tapping sound emerged from inside the shell. Tap. Pause. Tap. The ducklings grew still, their curiosity turning into quiet anticipation. The shell shifted. A thin crack appeared, spreading slowly across the pale surface like a delicate line of light. The mother duck remained calm and patient, her eyes soft and reassuring. "Take your time," she whispered. The crack widened. A small piece of shell broke away, then another. And finally, with a soft, fragile effort, the shell opened. A small head emerged, but this duckling did not look like the others. Its feathers were gray instead of golden. Its body appeared larger, less rounded. Its neck seemed longer, its movements uncertain. The little duckling blinked at the world, breathing its first breath of cool spring air. Silence filled the nest. The other ducklings stared. One tilted its head. Another shuffled closer. "He looks different," one whispered. The gray duckling struggled to stand, wobbling on unsteady legs before collapsing gently into the warmth of the nest. The mother duck looked at the newcomer with calm tenderness. She wrapped her wing around the duckling. "You are here," she whispered, "and that is enough." The lake remained still. The breeze softened. The evening light deepened into gold and rose. Take a slow breath in, and slowly breathe out. Feel the calm spreading through your body. There is no rush. There is no judgment. Only gentle beginnings. The gray duckling rested beneath his mother's wing, unaware of how different he appeared to the world around him. In the quiet glow of evening, he drifted into his first sleep, and the lake remained peaceful. Chapter 3. A different reflection. Morning arrived quietly over the lake, wrapped in soft mist and pale light. The reeds swayed gently as the first warmth of the sun touched the water. The ducklings stirred. One by one, they stretched their tiny wings and blinked at the new day. The gray duckling opened his eyes slowly, feeling the warmth of his mother beside him and the soft rustle of his siblings nearby. Today was the day they would leave the nest and discover the water. The mother duck guided them toward the edge of the lake, her movements calm and steady. "Stay close," she murmured. The ducklings waddled behind her in a small, uneven line, their tiny feet pressing softly into the damp earth. When they reached the water, the surface shimmered like glass. Without hesitation, the mother duck stepped in. Ripples spread outward in gentle circles. "Come," she called softly. One by one, the yellow ducklings slipped into the water, paddling instinctively, their small feet moving with surprising confidence. Soft splashes, tiny ripples, quiet delight. Then the gray duckling stepped forward. He hesitated. The water reflected his image back to him. Larger, darker, unfamiliar. He stepped in. The water embraced him gently. He paddled. And though he moved differently, he floated just the same. The lake held him, supported him, carried him with the same quiet care. Yet along the shore, other animals watched. A hen clucked disapprovingly. A turkey puffed its feathers and turned away. Even some of the ducklings swam a little farther from him. "He doesn't look like us," one whispered. The gray duckling felt something new inside his chest, something heavy and confusing. He swam quietly behind the others, trying to remain unnoticed. The water moved in soft circles around him. Above, the sky stretched wide and endless. Take a slow breath in, and gently release it. Imagine floating in calm water, supported, weightless, safe. The lake does not judge. The sky does not compare. Nature simply allows each life to exist as it is. The gray duckling drifted silently through the morning light, feeling both held by the water and distant from those around him. And though he did not understand why he felt different, the lake continued to carry him gently forward. Chapter 4. Whispers Along the Shore. The morning mist lifted slowly, revealing the quiet beauty of the farm and the shimmering lake. The ducklings paddled through the shallow water, their tiny movements creating soft ripples that faded into stillness. The gray duckling followed behind. He tried to move like the others. He tried to stay close. But wherever he swam, he felt the subtle distance between himself and the rest. Along the shore, the farm animals had gathered. A hen tilted her head sharply. "Well, that is a strange-looking duckling," she clucked. A goose stretched its neck and squinted. "He is far too large." A turkey puffed its chest and turned away with a dismissive grunt. Even the wind seemed to pause. The gray duckling lowered his head and drifted quietly beside the reeds. He did not understand their words completely, but he understood their tone. The yellow ducklings swam together in a tight circle, chirping happily. None meant cruelty, yet none invited him closer. He paddled alone. The lake remained gentle beneath him, rocking him softly with each small wave. The mother duck noticed. She swam near him and brushed her wing lightly across his back. "You belong here," she whispered. Her voice carried warmth, but the world beyond her felt colder. Clouds drifted slowly across the pale blue sky. The breeze softened. Time slowed. Take a slow breath in, and let it go slowly. Notice the quiet around you. Notice the softness of this moment. Not every silence is emptiness. Some silences are places of rest. The gray duckling drifted near the shore, listening to the whisper of reeds brushing against one another. He felt something heavy in his chest, something new, something he did not yet understand. And though the lake held him gently, he began to feel alone within its vastness. Chapter 5. The first loneliness days passed in quiet repetition. Morning light, cool water, soft wind. The rhythm of life on the lake continued, steady and unchanged. Yet inside the gray duckling, something shifted. The other ducklings grew stronger, their feathers bright and smooth. They played together, splashing and chasing drifting leaves. Whenever he approached, they moved slightly away. Not cruelly, not intentionally, simply, naturally. The gray duckling began to stay near the edges of the water, where tall reeds swayed like silent guardians. From there, he watched. He watched the others glide across the lake. He watched dragonflies hover above the surface. He watched sunlight scatter into golden fragments. But he did not join. A chill breeze passed over the water, sending small ripples toward the shore. The gray duckling tucked his head into his feathers. He wondered why he felt different, why he felt unseen, why his reflection did not resemble the others. He studied his image in the water, blurred by ripples, stretched by light. He did not understand what he saw. Behind him, the world continued its quiet rhythm. Before him, the lake stretched wide and endless. Take a slow breath in and release it gently. Sometimes, stillness can feel like solitude, and sometimes solitude becomes a quiet place of reflection. You are not alone in quiet moments. You are simply resting in them. The gray duckling drifted closer to the reeds, where the water felt calmer and the world felt softer. He closed his eyes, and for a moment, he simply floated, held by the gentle rhythm of the lake. Chapter 6. Leaving the Only Home. He knew one morning the air felt different. The sky was pale and wide, and a cool wind moved across the lake, bending the reeds in slow, whispering waves. The gray duckling woke with a heaviness in his chest. The sounds of the farm carried across the water, clucking, rustling, distant footsteps. Yet none of it felt like it belonged to him. He watched his siblings swim together, their golden feathers glowing in the morning light. He watched them move as one, and he felt himself drifting further apart. No harsh words had been spoken. No great moment had forced this feeling. It had arrived quietly, like mist, like distance, like silence settling between heartbeats. He stepped slowly onto the shore, the damp earth cool beneath his webbed feet. The wind brushed through his feathers. He turned once, looking back at the lake, at the nest, at the only home he had known. His mother slept peacefully, near the water's edge. He paused, unsure. A soft ache filled his chest. Yet something within him urged him forward. Not away, but onward. He took one step, then another. He walked through tall grass beaded with morning dew, each step carrying him farther from the familiar. The sounds of the farm faded. The lake disappeared behind him. Only the whisper of wind remained. Take a slow breath in and let it go slowly. Sometimes moving forward feels like leaving something behind. Yet every path leads toward new understanding. The earth beneath him felt cool and steady. The sky above remained vast and open. Though he did not know where he was going, he continued walking, guided by something deeper than fear. And the quiet countryside welcomed his small, uncertain journey. Chapter 7. The Cold and the Long Night. The countryside stretched wide and unfamiliar around the gray duckling as he wandered farther from the lake he once called home. The ground beneath his feet changed from soft mud to dry grass, then to patches of cool earth shaded by tall, silent trees. The air felt different here. The warmth of spring had begun to fade, replaced by a cooler wind that whispered through the branches above. The sky, once bright and comforting, now seemed vast and distant. The gray duckling walked slowly, each step uncertain, guided only by instinct and the quiet pull of something he could not yet understand. He crossed shallow streams that shimmered beneath the fading light. He passed fields where the wind moved like waves across the tall grass. He listened to sounds he had never heard before, The rustle of hidden creatures, the call of distant birds, the hollow echo of wind through open land. As evening approached, the sky softened into shades of lavender and silver. The air grew colder. The duckling's small body trembled. He searched for shelter and found a cluster of tall reeds near a quiet pond. The water here was darker and still, reflecting the dim light of the fading sky. He nestled into the reeds, tucking his head beneath his wing in an attempt to hold on to warmth. Night arrived slowly. The stars emerged one by one, scattered across the vast darkness like tiny lanterns. The wind grew sharper. The cold crept into his feathers. He shivered. The world felt enormous, silent, unforgiving. For the first time, he felt truly alone. No mother's warmth, no familiar lake, no soft sounds of siblings nearby. Only the whisper of wind and the endless night. He closed his eyes and listened to his own breathing. Slow, uneven, fragile. Take a slow breath in and release it gently. Imagine wrapping yourself in warmth. Safe, protected, held. Even in the coldest night, life continues to breathe. Even in darkness, the stars remain. The gray duckling rested beneath the silent sky, trembling but enduring. And though the night felt endless somewhere beyond the darkness, morning waited patiently. Chapter 8. Kindness in Unexpected Places. Morning arrived softly, like a quiet promise. A pale glow spread across the horizon, slowly pushing back the darkness of the long night. Frost clung to the reeds and sparkled faintly in the early light. The gray duckling stirred, stiff from the cold, his feathers damp with dew. He lifted his head and listened. The pond remained still. The world felt hushed, as if wrapped in a blanket of quiet. Then he heard footsteps, slow, careful, crunching softly over frozen grass. He froze, unsure whether to hide or flee. An old farmer approached the pond carrying a wooden bucket. His movements were unhurried, his breath visible in the cold morning air. He paused when he saw the duckling. The man said nothing. He simply watched. The duckling remained still, his body tense, prepared to run. But the farmer did not move closer. Instead, he set down a small handful of grain near the water's edge and stepped back. Then he turned and walked away. No sudden motion, no loud sound, only quiet understanding. The duckling waited. The wind stirred. The grain remained. Slowly, cautiously, he stepped forward. He pecked once, then again. Warmth spread through his small body, not just from the food, but from the simple kindness of being seen and not driven away. Later, as the day softened, he wandered farther and encountered an old wooden shed near a farmhouse. A cracked door stood slightly open, allowing a pocket of still air inside. He stepped in. The space was dim, but dry. Straw covered the floor. The air held warmth. He rested there for a time, sheltered from the wind. Though he did not stay long, the memory of warmth remained with him. Kindness had appeared quietly, without words, without expectation. Take a slow breath in, and exhale slowly. Kindness does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it appears as small moments of gentleness. Allow yourself to receive softness. Allow yourself to rest in it. As the gray duckling stepped back into the open air, the cold felt less severe. Not because the wind had changed, but because something within him had softened. And with quiet strength, he continued forward. Chapter 9. The mirror of the lake days passed, and the seasons began their slow transformation. The harsh chill softened. The wind grew gentler. The light lingered longer each afternoon. The gray duckling continued his journey, moving through meadows and marshlands, resting beside quiet waters and hidden reeds. He had grown stronger. His wings stretched wider. His movements felt steadier. One morning, he arrived at a wide, tranquil lake surrounded by tall grasses and silver birch trees. The surface of the water lay perfectly still, reflecting the sky like a flawless mirror. Mist hovered just above the surface, drifting slowly in the early light. He stepped toward the edge. The water did not ripple. It waited. He looked down, and for the first time, he truly saw his reflection. Not blurred by ripples, not distorted by movement, clear, still, whole. He paused. The image that gazed back at him was not the awkward duckling he remembered. His neck was long and graceful. His feathers were no longer gray and rough, but smooth and luminous. His wings rested at his sides with quiet strength. He blinked, unsure. The reflection blinked back. He moved his head slightly. The reflection moved with gentle elegance. Above him, a soft rush of wings stirred the air. He looked up. A group of magnificent white birds glided across the sky, their wings wide and effortless, their movements serene. They descended toward the lake, landing with barely a ripple. Swans. They moved across the water with quiet grace. One of them turned toward him. No alarm, no rejection, only calm recognition. The gray duckling felt something shift deep within his chest. Not fear, not confusion, but a quiet awakening. He stepped into the water. The lake embraced him, and as he floated forward, he no longer felt separate from what surrounded him. Take a slow breath in, and release it slowly. Sometimes we cannot see who we are becoming while we are still growing. Sometimes clarity arrives only when the water becomes still. Allow yourself to rest in stillness. Allow clarity to arrive gently. The water held him. The sky opened above him. And for the first time, he felt not different, but exactly where he belonged. Chapter 10. Becoming who he was meant to be. Morning light spread across the lake like a soft golden veil. The surface shimmered gently as the swans moved with effortless grace through the water. Their reflections stretched beneath them, long and luminous, like living brush strokes upon the still surface. The young swan, once the gray duckling, floated quietly among them. No one questioned his presence. No one turned away. The water moved around him in gentle rings, welcoming and calm. He stretched his wings slowly. They opened wide, strong and elegant, catching the light of the rising sun. He felt the strength within them. He felt the air move through his feathers. he felt the quiet certainty of belonging. For a moment, memories surfaced. The nest by the lake, the whispers along the shore, the long cold night, the lonely journey across unfamiliar fields. None of it had been wasted. Each step, each hardship, each moment of solitude had carried him here. The swans glided across the lake, and he followed, his movements now fluid and sure. Above them, the sky stretched vast and clear. The breeze was gentle. The morning held promise. He no longer wondered why he had been different. He no longer questioned his place. He simply moved forward, calm, graceful, at peace. From the shore, a child paused to watch the swans drifting across the water. "Look," the child whispered. "How beautiful they are." The young swan lowered his head and glided through the mirrored light, leaving only soft ripples behind. Take a slow breath in and release it slowly. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are becoming. Allow the past to soften. Allow the journey to rest. Allow yourself to arrive. The lake remained still. The morning remained gentle. And beneath the wide and quiet sky, the swan moved peacefully through the water, exactly as he was meant to be. Final chapter. A gentle reflection. Beneath quiet skies, the lake grows still once more. Morning light softens into a peaceful glow, and the gentle ripples left by passing wings slowly fade into glass-like calm. The world seems to exhale, settling into quiet balance. The swans drift across the water, their movements slow and effortless, as if guided by an unseen harmony that holds all living things. And somewhere within this quiet landscape, the journey of the once lonely duckling rests. Not as a memory of pain, but as a path that led him home to himself. The wind moves softly through the reeds. The sky stretches wide and patient above the earth. Nothing rushes. Nothing demands. Everything simply is. Take a slow breath in and release it gently. Allow your body to sink deeper into comfort. Allow your thoughts to slow. Allow the stillness to hold you. This story is not only about a duckling. It is about every heart that has ever felt different. Every soul that has wandered in search of belonging. Every quiet moment of doubt. Every silent question of worth. There are times in life when we feel out of place, as if the world around us speaks a language we do not understand. Times when we compare ourselves and feel we do not measure up. Times when loneliness arrives without warning and settles beside us like a long shadow. Yet growth is often invisible while it is happening. Transformation is quiet. Becoming takes time. The duckling did not become a swan overnight. He endured seasons. He crossed cold nights. He walked unfamiliar paths. And still, he continued. Not because he knew the destination, but because life gently guided him forward. Take another slow breath in and release it softly. You too are growing in ways you cannot always see. You are learning in moments that feel uncertain. You are becoming in ways that unfold quietly. There is no need to rush. There is no need to compare. There is no need to force the unfolding of your path. Just as the lake reflects the sky when it is still, clarity arrives when we allow ourselves to rest. Just as the seasons change without effort, transformation unfolds in its own time. Just as the swan discovered his reflection only when the water became calm, We often discover ourselves when we slow down enough to see clearly. The night now deepens gently around you. The world grows quieter. Your breathing slows. Your body rests. Your mind softens. Release the weight of the day. Release the need to understand everything. Release the need to hurry. You are safe. You are held. You are becoming. Somewhere, beneath a quiet sky, the lake rests in perfect stillness. The reeds whisper softly. The water reflects the stars, and the swan sleeps peacefully, carried by the gentle rhythm of the night. Allow yourself to drift now. Allow the quiet to cradle you. Allow rest to arrive. And trust that, in its own time, life carries you exactly where you are meant to be. Breathe slowly. Rest deeply. Sleep peacefully.